What up, everybody? Today we got another one, ironically, another BMW. I was joking before about all the BMW people are usually the ones that say let's shoot, but they just tend to be the ones that are down to shoot, so I got another BMW. I got a 2018 F80 M3. This thing's pretty clean. First glance, it looks kind of stock, and then when you really look at it, you realize that it's not even remotely stock. But here's the car. To tell us more about the car, we got Christian over here. How's it going?
Hey, what's up, man? So my name's Christian. This is my 2018 F80 M3 competition pack. Yeah, one of my dream cars to ever have, and was able to get my hands on it. So basically just started modding, but you know how that starts, where you're trying to keep it stock, and within 2 months, that doesn't happen very well.
How long have you been modding it?
Basically, I had it in 2018 of May. I started modding it by September. So
okay.
was
so
that?
Yeah, like you said, just a few months, and then you start doing it.
Yeah, within about 4 months, I was already buying springs and getting wheels. So
you started with the wheels and suspension then?
Yeah. So this is my second set. So I actually started off with Gold Skull wheels. They were a 3-piece from a company based out of LA. They hit me up, wanted to see if I wanted to, rock their wheels for a bit. So I did that for about a year and a half. And then I had springs, KW Haas's, and then moved to KW V3 coilovers. And now what we see here is air suspension. So it's Airlift 3H air suspension.
So we've gone through several different sets of
Yeah.
suspension.
So basically any suspension setup you're looking for, from springs to air, I've already done it with this car within 2 years.
What made you go air?
Being able to drive it without worrying about driveways, speed bumps. My wife wanted to drive it a lot more, and that was the only doable way without losing any lips.
So the daily ability then?
Basically.
Yeah.
I lost about 4 or 5 carbon lips within maybe a year or less. So it had to go air.
I've been noticing personally that more and more people nowadays are doing air suspension. It's not like it used to be, where before it was looks. Now you're actually getting performance out of it, and you're getting that daily ability, and you're still getting the looks. So.
Yeah, and I decided to go with Airlift mainly because everyone's been running that. It's been really popular over the last few years, and I was actually able to get sponsored by them, so even works even better. And then the wheels now are BBS LMRs that are custom finished in a aluminum tint with gold accents and a polished polished lip, sorry. And yeah, my boys at AR Motorworks helped me with that. I think that's the next big thing is the carbon fenders. So. Yeah, the carbon fenders are by Denman. One big difference you'll notice between this and the stock M3's grille is this right here. This little fin actually is extended all the way down.
I noticed that, and I hope I don't offend you with this. I mean, as a compliment, it kind of reminds me of a GTR.
Close. Well, kind of close. So it is based off of another car. Another European car, if you can kind of maybe can guess. So it's off of the Porsche Panameras.
Ah, okay. So yeah, they have that similar kind of like lip right there. Yeah.
So this is their fins. So,
is it really?
Yeah. So what we did is we custom made it. So it basically cuts all the way down, and then we retrofitted the Panamera grill fins into it.
So that's from a Panamera.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I didn't realize that. Yeah, I saw that, and it kind of made me think, like, it looks like how GTRs have their kind of like backwards 7 look to them.
Yep.
And now you're making me think about it. Yeah, Panameras have the same thing, and then Taycans have something kind of similar but a little different.
The other ones are the Lexus RCs, I think, RCFs.
The RC350 and
yeah,
the
yeah.
RC500.
They have that really extended grille, and like for some reason it really appealed to me, and it looked really good with this because it follows the lines of the car up here and a little bit down here too, so you can kind of get that full fin look. We're following the lines throughout.
So after you did suspension, was the fenders the next thing you did?
No, fenders were actually one of the later pieces.
What did you do after suspension and wheels?
Ooh, it's a good question. After suspension and wheels, I think I started doing some performance mods.
Okay.
No, that's a lie. I did the carbon bits.
Okay.
So the carbon that you see around the car is probably the 4th iteration of it.
So you've changed things here and there on it then?
Yeah. Nothing has really lasted on this car for longer than, I'd say, 6 months, except the fenders. My boys always like make fun of me because they're like, dude, you change your car change the piece of your car so often, the carbon pieces are always changing. And one bit of it just because they break.
Yeah, and it's just fun,
Yeah.
Cars change its personality. I mean, very few people have a car their entire life.
Right.
And what they have kind of goes with their personality.
Yeah.
Some people change parts more often than others.
Yep. So I guess we can start with the carbon arrows, right? So the side skirts are Morph Auto. They are a discontinued carbon fiber company. So really rare to see this one now. If you do see it, they're really good quality. Really, probably the best quality carbon skirts I've ever seen, aside from maybe like PSM, another company that's based out here in California.
So we got the side skirts, we got a little lip on...
Little small, like a modest spoiler here. It's a replica of a 3D Japan design. Came out really pretty good for a replica. Fits really well. And then we have a diffuser here. This is the Kohlenstoff diffuser. It actually comes with a rain light too. So when you step on the brake, you get a third brake light, which is F1 inspired, race car, all that stuff. I thought it was really cool. I have future plans to put an under tray underneath it. So we'll see how that goes. Gotta see how it fits.
So I'm not super, like I mentioned, I'm not super familiar with F80s.
The lip on your front is not the original lip, correct?
Correct.
So show me that lip real quick.
Yeah, so the lip in the front is made by the same company that made my fenders. They're called Dinman. They're also based in California. So that's the lip right there. It has the F80 CS or F82 CS look to it. It's a little bit more aggressive, I think. And then I also added the M Performance splitters right here as well. They are custom fitted to fit this lip. Otherwise, you'd normally just see it with the M Performance lips. Another thing that you'll probably notice when you look at the front of the car are the Snorkels. Those are front-mounted intakes. So normally they're stock airbox. We went ahead, made the front mounts. They're actually made out of titanium, and they have a matching pattern to my charge pipes, which we can see when I open the hood.
Yeah, pop the hood. Let's see. I already got to see what's inside this hood, and it is clean. One thing that I'm not a huge fan of on newer BMWs personally is that you can't really see the motor. They've kind of completely covered it. And this one, you can actually see a little bit more than most newer BMWs, and it's pretty clean.
Yeah, so as I was saying, we have titanium parts. So the titanium intakes right here are front mounted. It has this zebra print made by RK Titanium out in Seattle. And then we have matching charge pipes. We have a CSF charge top mount intercooler.
I love the finish that you have on that. That's so cool.
Thank you. Cool story about that is I kind of wanted something to play off still with the gold. And I saw my buddy from Colorado. He has a same intercooler, but he did like a purple splash on it. So I thought the gold would make a really cool accent with the bolts and the titanium. So
It's got a cool color to it.
Yeah.
Honestly, it kind of reminds me of like a skin you would get on a gun in Call of Duty.
Yeah. So it was definitely like, a little take from a lot of things, right? So you see in like Call of Duty, like you said. So yeah, it was pretty cool to see that it actually come out the way it did, because it actually has like kind of gold flakes in it too sometimes.
One thing that I really like about this is I love cars that have attention to detail. It's pretty easy to like throw a big turbo on it, put wheels or whatever, but I like the attention to detail. I like how you did this all over. There's little gold accents everywhere on this car, and I just really like those little accents, but it's a theme that kind of goes along with the whole car.
Yeah. So the reason why I went with gold, it's to kind of throw it back to when I was modding my JDM car. So I had an Acura RSX that I went full JDM on, and I had gold bits on it. And back then, in like the early 2000s, gold or bronze was the big thing. So I wanted to kind of throw back a little bit to that, and that's why I have all these gold tidbits to it too.
Well, it's clean, man. I like that.
Thank you.
And then it kind of goes with all the piping, the gold look on it, which is kind of a natural look on piping, but it just it accents that. It kind of accentuates it a little bit more.
Yep. And then as far as mods in the engine bay, like I said, it's front-mounted intakes. We have the charge pipes, the intercooler, down pipes, and full exhaust.
So you're full bolt-on?
Full bolt-on, basically. I
No
am tuned.
internals?
No internals. I am tuned. I have a lot more cooling stuff also. You can't really see it, but down below here, there's like that. Well, yeah, it's the heat exchanger. So that's not that's from Mishimoto, and I also have an oil cooler underneath as well. That's aftermarket from Mishimoto too. One of the big things about the F80s is these stock oil coolers are so thin that you can actually break them. So the Mishimoto one's super strong. Don't need to worry about that, especially when you're lowered.
So I've heard that these run kind of hot, right?
Yeah,
So does that really take care of your issues?
it really does. My temperature gauge, the oil gauge, it actually would read closer to like 250. Now it's like way below that.
Do you know what your recommended is?
No, I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay.
Yeah.
But 250 is high really on anything.
Yeah, I think I might be actually wrong with 250. Let me just double check what it is at the most.
This is going online, man. You want to know the truth.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, before 250-ish was where I was running if I was really like, driving pretty hard or enthusiastic driving. Now it's just above the second tick of the meter.
Okay.
So
You brought it down.
I brought it down, which is really great to know that these things work, not just for looks.
So you reinforced it and you brought your temp down.
Yep.
So, like I said, I'm not super familiar with this generation M3s. Does it normally have this, or did you put this on?
So that's stock too.
Okay.
So stock carbon brace, which is great. You'll also, we were talking just about temperatures. You'll see a lot of F80s now. They've got an oil temperature cooler, I think. So it's this piece right here, and it's just helps the oil cool it down a lot more. So another piece that I picked up from some people, but hopefully I'll try to add it on later on.
So you got it, but just haven't put it on yet.
I still got to get it.
Okay.
So it's something I learned about, so something I can, if I
Okay.
decide to do it.
This is clean, man. I love this.
Thank you. Let's see, what else?
So you put this on, or was that on there?
That is extra. So my buddy, my sister-in-law's boyfriend actually got these for me for Christmas about 2 years ago.
Oh, sweet.
So they lined up really well. They've stuck on just by double-side tape. So
3M?
yeah,
3M has changed the way people do cars. 3M is amazing.
it's amazing how well that's stuck on, especially after all this time, all the washes, everything. It won't come off, and I'm happy it hasn't because they look good.
Yeah, that's good. It's like I said, I'm just not familiar enough with this to know if it came with it or not, but it kind of looks like it could have. It fits the car.
Yeah, it fits really well. That's one thing I wanted to make sure that whenever I added a piece to the car, that it looked OEM, it could pass as OEM, and the fitment was as good as possible.
Yeah. It definitely looks that.
Ooh, yeah. I guess we can look at the interior. Another bit, just this really quick, is just the carbon fiber mirror caps. Those are BMW Performance. It came with a carbon fiber roof. Can't get knocked. Get an F80 without the carbon roof.
But it didn't have these.
But it didn't have these, so these
Okay.
were an extra piece.
Oh, I thought it actually did have those.
No, unless you bought it from the dealership, but it is an option to get. I ended up having to do it afterwards.
So you can get it, but it just doesn't come on the car that way.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you were mentioning to me before we started filming that a lot of the interior you've added carbon to, right?
Yeah. So a lot of carbon on the interior too. The most notable, I guess, are the back of these seats. If I move it up just a little bit here, you can see that it's not just the small trim. So a lot of people, from what I see, they only have the carbon piece that does the spine, so it goes down here. These are actually full backs for those seats, specifically made for the competition seats. Get some more light in here too.
Yeah.
You can see that this is carbon fiber as well. All of these carbon bits inside are made by Denman as well. We also did the fenders, and like I said, the lid. We'll go back that way. We can have a better view of what the cockpit. The steering wheel is from the CS model of the F80s. We also have the center console of the steering wheel in carbon. M Performance handbrake. It is a 6-speed. Save the manuals.
You know, unfortunately, sooner or later we're going to be out of manuals.
I know. There's really nothing you can do about it.
Realistically, sooner or later, this will be electric.
Oh,
We're going to run out of ICE engines. It sucks,
Yeah.
but it's the future. I get it, and I'm not 100% against it. I love electric cars when they're done right, but there's nothing that compares to just an ICE engine, and these are going to go away eventually. So not only is your 6-speed going to go away, but eventually the whole engine's going to go away.
I know. That's probably the future and where we're heading. But in the meantime, I'm glad I can enjoy a 6-speed.
Enjoy it while you got it.
Exactly, and that was actually one of the main features I needed when I got this car, was making sure it was a 6-speed. I didn't want to go DCT or automatic, so that was like the one of the number one pieces I needed. We also have the air controller in there, so it makes that pretty easy to move the car up and down. And then even the center console is carbon fiber again.
I really love the back of these seats. That's just so clean.
This whole car, I can't speak right now. This whole car is clean, man. I don't see one angle of this car that doesn't look like it's touched, but still all looks clean and taken care of. It's definitely clean. Simple as that.
Yeah, that was really the big piece of it. Everything that I did had to be clean, had to be, fitted correctly. I even have my trunk set up for the air is pretty basic, but it's clean. It's managed up here. The compressors are all in the back. You can't even see it. It's just like a very sleek, basic. Just a very clean setup.
It kind of looks like that if this came with air from BMW, that's how they would have done it.
Yeah.
It's very fitting. It doesn't stand out. It looks like you did it. It looks like that's how it should be.
There's always a purpose for why I do these things. For this one, I play hockey, so I need to fit a 4-foot hockey bag in here, and I couldn't let it mount on the floor, so that was the only way to go.
Yeah,
Slide it right through.
So, any future mods that you're thinking about doing?
Future mods, I'm going to try to work on an under tray for this car. Trying to combine the PSM under tray with this current diffuser. There's a team in Europe that's helping me work on that right now. Maybe big turbos. Gotta get the crank hub done. If I do big turbos, because God knows that crank hub is gonna blow up my engine.
I forgot to ask you, what kind of power are you pushing right now?
So power-wise, I haven't dynoed it, so I'm not official, but apparently I should be pushing between 520, 530 with all the overall bolt-ons.
This is pretty substantial compared to what this car came stock.
Yeah, so it's almost close to 100 horsepower gain. I mean, even just with with just the downpipe and tune and exhaust, I could feel the change in power.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
We were talking before we started filming, and I was mentioning about how, a lot of people think that you got to double a car's horsepower in order to really feel it. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not against doubling a car's horsepower, but even when you add 40, 50, 60 pounds or pounds horsepower, that's big, that's drastic, you feel it. So adding close to 100, like you said, that's pretty significant.
Yeah. It's definitely clean, man. I like it. It just sits nice too. I can't find an angle on this car that doesn't just sit clean and sit nice, which is part of your air suspension, but it's just clean, man.
I mean, when I was on coils, I was pretty slammed as well. Maybe just a little bit higher on the front, but the back was where it is on coils too. So
this is one thing that I was mentioning too. I love all your little gold accents. Just everywhere I look, I got a little bit of gold accents. I just like that. It's not a gold car, but there's characteristics there. It's clean, it just stands out. It makes it unique.
Yep.
Well, hey, Christian, thanks for letting me shoot the car. I got some great photos. Thanks for doing the video. Maybe when you do some more mods, let's film it again, get some more pictures. But yeah.
Definitely. Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks for your time. Thanks for reviewing the car.
Yeah. Peace out. I got more videos.